Greetings, fellow seekers of the supernatural. I'll be your guide through the mysterious realm. In each episode, we'll unravel spine-tingling tales, explore haunted locations, and delve into the inexplicable. Brace yourselves for encounters with restless spirits, cryptids, and things that defy logic. So dim the lights, grab your sage, and join us as we peer into the darkness. Because the truth is stranger than fiction. Subscribe now and remember, the paranormal is among us. Hey everybody, how you doing? Happy Tuesday to everybody. As you can see, I am not outside on the patio, so I didn't feel like changing to the show from the patio to from the basement. But it's pretty windy outside and looked like there's some rain heading in our way. I didn't really feel like dealing with dogs and being out in the rain and everything and all the wind. So we are going to be down in the basement today. Hey Brandy, how you doing? Hope everything's going good. Glad you're here. And Pam's here as well. There's Pam. Thank you very much. Chase Paul inside joining us and pretending that we were on the patio. Yeah, you know, we got a nice little basement down here, a little man cave for me here. Fisher of Spam, not Fisher of Pam. Fisher of Spam is here. The joys of live TV. Hope everybody's doing good. Like I said, great day. A little windy. Looks like it's going to rain here pretty soon. So made my way downstairs and we're going to do the show from down here today. Hopefully next week we'll be back outside, and maybe if it's nice Saturday we'll be back outside. Hi Gwen, how you doing? Hi Fisher, and Pam and Brandy are all here. So a couple things before we get going, and I'll probably talk about things in between. I have a couple stories to read, and again, if anybody wants to come on the show and wants to join me here, has a story or two to share, I have the link in the chat, and I'll be putting that back in here and there. So what do I want to tell you? Oh, trying to do too many things here. I love Saturdays when Krista's in here, that she can kind of guide me along a little bit better. So here's the first one, May 18th and 19th. It's going to be put on by After Dark Paranormal, as well as the Blondes and the Booze. We're going to be out at Ashmore Estates in Ashmore, Illinois. Tickets are $85 a piece. That includes a guest speaker portion of the day, a pizza dinner, and then the ghost hunt later in the evening. It's going to be a great time. I'm really looking forward to it. And from what I understand, there's just a few tickets left. So I know Chris has been posting it. Terry Mosby has been posting it. I've been posting it. So get your tickets while they last. Not sure how many are going. I know there's probably around 5, if not less than that. So make sure you get yours before it's too late. Robin Terry will be there. He's the owner of Ashmore. Barton and Letitia Nunley will be there. Can't wait to meet them. Can't wait to meet Terry. Robin Terry. Can't wait to meet everybody down there. Jessica Potter will be there. Rachel Marie will be there. Josh Hurd will be there. You got the Blondes and the Booze, and After Dark Paranormal will be there, as well as myself. So make sure you get those tickets. You can go to Eventbrite under Blondes and the Booze and order your tickets online. And come on out and have a good old time, and have some fun. Ghost hunting, and I think there's a fire pit outside if you don't feel like going inside, and hunting. You can sit outside by the fire. I'm sure plenty of people will be sitting out there. I know Barton and Letitia will probably be sitting out there. I'll be coming and going from the fire pit to inside. Also going to try and broadcast live from out there. I don't know how good the signal is. Terry was saying that it wasn't that great. So, we'll give it a shot, and if it works, great. If not, that's great too. So that is May 18th, in less than 2 weeks. It's coming up quick. Okay, so like I said, I have some stories to share with you guys. Like last week, I had Fisher of Spam story on. Great story. Thank you very much again, Fisher, for sending that in. He's got more. All right, our first story. And pardon me, it's a little bit chilly down here, so I forgot to bring a sweater. Here we go. We live in a small town of Green Valley, Arizona. That's just south of Tucson. And most nights, the skies are lit up with a blanket of stars. One evening, my son Tim, who was about 6 at the time, was gazing out of his bedroom window when he noticed something unusual, and he called me into his room to show me what he was seeing. There was a series of bright, colorful lights flying around in the sky. They were moving in patterns too precise to be stars or airplanes. I looked over at my son. His eyes were wide with wonder. He looked at me and pointed out the window and said, "Look, Dad, the stars are putting on a show for us." I looked at him and said, "I don't think those are stars," but I didn't tell him that I thought those were UFOs flying around over our house. There had to have been about 10 of them. We continued to watch in awe as the lights started to form a circle, and then they all shot off into the distance in a blink of an eye with no sound. The next morning, I was going to the local coffee shop to get some donuts for the family. I overheard some of the customers talking about the crazy lights in the sky from the previous night. Someone said that they thought it was probably some kind of military aircraft performing some kind of exercise at night, while others insisted that they were not from this world. I said that they didn't seem to be flying in a way that aircraft should maneuver, flying in tight circles, making sharp turns, stopping on a dime, all the while not making any sound. Then, of course, they flew off faster than any aircraft I have ever seen, again, not making any sound. When I got back home with the coffee and donuts, I found Tim in his room drawing pictures of the encounter. He knew what he had seen that night. Over the next several days, Tim was very excited to tell his friends about the encounter, and even strangers that we came across about the events that he had witnessed. And now that was over 20 years ago. And while the lights have never returned, the memory of that night stayed with Tim, and it ignited his passion about the stars and the vast universe we live in. That's a great story. I appreciate you sending that in. He didn't send his name with it, just anonymously, and that's fine. Please feel free to send any stories that you have. Paranormal Among Us 72, you see it on the bottom of the screen, paranormalamongus72@gmail.com. You can remain anonymous. You could leave your name, whatever. I'll respect your privacy and everything. So, but what do you think? Have any of you seen UFOs like that? And it's funny how they, come and go without making a sound. We don't see them. Hey, Smurfy. Smurfy's here. It could have been our own military aircraft. We don't know. But without making a sound, I don't know that the military has perfected the propulsion system to not make a sound or anything. So very, very interesting. I appreciate that. And before we get to the next story, I wanted to share with you. I set up a Venmo account. Somebody on my last show said that they wished I had super chat or something. I'm not quite eligible for that yet. So I set up a Venmo account. You see it on the screen now, venmo.com/u/@paranormalpaul72. Brandy has not seen any UFOs. So that's one way to support the show. And, anything that I appreciate, anything that anybody sends, I appreciate you viewing. So sending stuff is not necessary, but I appreciate everybody coming and supporting the show. But anything that I would make off this is going to go right back into the show, whether it's getting different equipment, going to conferences, meeting people, getting ghost hunting equipment or whatever, going out on ghost hunts and being able to present some stuff to you guys. That's what I want to use this platform for. So Another thing that I want to pass on to you guys. Let's see what Smurfy said. I've seen a few, not to where I can see much detail, but the bright color ball of light zipped around in the sky at night. Yeah, that sounds very common. Fish or spam. I like it more when UFOs don't interact, if they have to be here at all. Yeah, that's true. I mean, if they're flying around observing us, whatever, that's fine. Don't take anybody. And that could be where all these abductions are going, or some of these abductions are going. We don't know. Also wanted to share, I'm going to save that for after this story. So here is the link again, if anybody wants to jump on and say hi, have a story or something to share. There's the link. Okay, this next story, and I appreciate everybody coming in, whether you're at work or at home or whatever you guys are doing on this Tuesday. I know we had some storms roll through here in St. Louis about a little bit before 5 o'clock. That was fun to wake up to. A lot of thunder and lightning and stuff. So I hope everybody's safe. It's spring, so we're going to get the spring storms. Here's another one from Smurfy. One was stationary way up above me as it was getting dusk and I was out walking. As soon as I looked up at it, it zipped off. I wonder if, do you think it saw you and just didn't want to be seen, or maybe it had enough and just wanted to get out of there? So, okay. Second story. My husband and I were driving down a stretch of Highway 50 through Nevada, outside of Reno, right around sunset. We always enjoyed going on short sunset drives and watch the sun dip below the horizon. We both enjoyed getting away from our busy lives and just sitting and watching the colors in the sky and enjoy the quiet company. While we were out watching the sunset one night, something caught my attention out of the corner of my eye. Apparently, my husband saw that as well, as he was pointing to a light streaking across the sky at a pretty good speed. I remember he had a mix of excitement and disbelief in his voice when he asked me if I saw that. I said, yeah, I saw that too, and asked him what it was. He said he had no idea, but he didn't think it was any kind of aircraft that he had seen before. So it's a theme going on here today. The object moved from our right to close to right over us, possibly 100 yards or so above us. It was shaped like a spear, with a band of white lights around the middle of it. I remember that the lights were pulsating as well. It wasn't terribly big either. From the distance it was from us, it appeared to be maybe 20 feet wide. I'm not very good at judging things. As we sat there on the hood of our car, the object shot some kind of beam down to the ground away from us, almost like it was searching for something. This beam of light came out at the bottom of the craft and was moving around the area. We looked on in disbelief and looked around the field. The beam was scanning, not really seeing anything ourselves. Then the beam got closer to us. As it was less than 5 feet from our car, the light turned off, the object turned, and in a blink of an eye, shot straight up into the sky and was out of sight. After the aircraft disappeared into the heavens, we looked at each other in amazement. We eventually got back into our car and silently drove home. That was about 10 years ago, and we rarely spoke about this. Up until this encounter, we were both kind of on the fence about the existence of UFOs. But after this, we are believers. It's only now that we are talking about it, hoping that someone else out there has seen the same thing or something similar. And I know there was a point that people were hesitant to go public about their encounters, airplane pilots and such, military. I mean, they were probably protected by the government. They didn't want the government to go out. Just everyday people were afraid to come out, to be ridiculed and shamed about their stories and stuff. But I think we're at a point that more people are coming out and talking about this, and it's more, I guess, common. So again, and this is not a place to ridicule anybody. So If you have a story, feel free to share it. We'll respect you and respect your privacy, and we'll listen to it and then judge ourselves. Okay? That's what I was wondering too. Yeah. And, chances are they did see you and zoomed off, didn't want to be seen. And, what do you think they are doing here? I mean, do you think they have bases here? I don't know if you guys watch The Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch. Thomas Winterton was on the Blondes and the Booze one time, and I love that show. They were they're looking for possible base or something in the mesa behind their property. They're always catching UAPs in the sky or UFOs in the sky, whatever you want to call them. So, and they're just little balls going across the sky. The last week's episode, they're on Tuesday nights. Last week's episode, they had a bunch of orbs or whatever flying through the sky while they were transmitting things. And I just find that very interesting. So yes, I really do enjoy talking about UFOs and what they could possibly be doing and where they could be hiding and stuff like that. So I think that there's, possibly bases in mountains around here, certainly in the water systems and our oceans. I mean, that makes a lot of sense to me that there's really the oceans we really haven't explored. They're so deep and so vast and stuff that there's, not much that we have encountered down there. So that's probably a safe place for them to hide. Granted, there's submarines and stuff wandering around the oceans all over the place from all kinds of different countries. So I believe you're right, Pam. They are monitoring us for sure. And could we be alien life forms that somebody put here on Earth to study us and see how we adapted to this world? Kind of like what some people are talking about on Mars. Hey, Roger, how you doing, buddy? Hope everybody is doing good. One other thing I wanted to share with you guys before we move on. And again, if anybody wants to come on, I have the chat, the link to the chat up here in the chat. I'll figure this out. I have the link to come on the show in the chat. If you guys want to show up. So if you want to Paranormal Among Us merchandise, my cousin who has Purple Penguin Crafts and Creations started doing stuff for me, and they're pretty awesome. I just got a shipment of stuff in over the weekend, and if you're going to be at Ashmore in May, you will get some of these. So I have this cool keychain, has a little tassel on there, the keychain, and on the back of the keychain is a QR code that will take you straight to the YouTube page. I do have a guest in the background. Let me get through this and I will be right over there. So we have a magnet that looks just like the keychain, but it's a magnet. So pretty cool. Put that on your refrigerator or your file cabinet at work if people still use file cabinets. This one here, this little guy, super soft and pretty awesome. Little ghost, Paranormal Among Us. I love this thing. Nice and comfy. It's going to be on my couch or possibly on my bed. I'll be falling asleep with that thing many times. Hey, Smokey. How you doing, buddy? Hope everybody's doing okay out there. And then his little cousin. So it's Purple Penguins Crafts and Creations. Check them out. They have some awesome stuff. Not just Paranormal Among Us stuff, but she does like tumblers and stuff and all kinds of fun stuff. So like I said, we have a guest that just popped on, and let me bring you on. It is Fisher of Spam. For sure, Spam. How you doing?
Good. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you just fine.
Awesome. Is there any kind of feedback issue just using my phone?
Not a bit. Perfect.
Wow,
It
that
sounds
works
like
out
you're sounds like you're sitting right next to me, right at the bar that I'm sitting at.
awesome. I was making sure that your voice wasn't bleeding through or anything, man.
Yeah, no. So how you doing today?
Pretty good, man. Just getting ready for work, you know.
Work gets in the way of everything, doesn't
It does. You can never have anything fun going on in life with work always in the way.
it? But then again, you can't do anything fun without work, so
Yeah. Necessary evil.
yeah, unfortunately. So hey, I this is the first time we've spoken, so I wanted to thank you again for sending me your stories. They're awesome. I love the story that I read last week. Um, so we need to see about getting you on some more and
Yeah.
talking. So
Yeah,
and
man,
you
no
know
problem.
now everybody who's watching this, you don't have to come on camera, just like Fisher. It doesn't matter. Um, come on, we can hide you, whatever. I just appreciate everybody coming on. So you have a ton of experience with, or
Yeah,
a ton
man.
of encounters, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Any one or
So,
two that you would like to share today?
yeah, I thought that while listening, there was one that was a little bit um, good to share. It's a short
Okay.
one.
Okay.
And if anybody hears any of these two dogs playing and fighting in the background, I'm very sorry. I'll try to make sure they don't be too loud. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say the one that was kind of pertinent and kind of like the topic of discussion was
Mhm,
the one that I sent over about when I was hanging out in the pool with the family.
mhm,
All right, so we're out there swimming in the backyard, and I noticed that my chickens are making noises. And recently, like
mhm.
we'd had some like hawk activity, and I was doing my best to make sure that they didn't get got. So when I start hearing them making a noise of, threat from above, it's like, okay, it's time to start looking for hawks, jump
Yeah.
out and do what I can. And I'm looking around, and I'm not seeing anything. They're all hidden up underneath the coop, and I'm like, okay, something's obviously going on. So I start looking up higher, and I notice, right behind the clouds, there's just like a silvery disc just chilling there. And I'm in
Really?
shock, disbelief. I'm like, oh my God, there's a UFO right there. And I start hollering at the mom and the wife. I'm like, hey, do you guys see that UFO right there above us? And they turn and look. And as soon as they turn, it just casually slips behind the cloud as if nothing had happened.
Where? How close to the ground was it?
I don't know. It's cloud level. I mean, it'd have to be able to try to hide behind a
Pretty
cloud,
high.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't
Wow.
know. But it's like it just heard me and it just slipped right behind. My wife was slow to turn and see it, so she didn't see anything. My mother saw it. She was like, "What was that?" I was like, "Y'all think I'm still crazy? Look at you didn't see that." Mom was like, I saw it," and then all of a sudden we start hearing a noise coming up, and I'm like, "What in the world?" And from the north, a jet comes. I mean, full afterburners, man. It's just roaring at us, just and it goes straight through the cloud where this thing slipped and disappeared behind.
Hmm.
And like we're all watching it at this point. We're like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden from the west, another one comes. Perfect intersection. X marks the spot of the cloud of where this thing was trying to hide.
Wow.
Yeah. And after that, we're like, all right, well, I think it's maybe time to go in.
Time to go in and hide yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that
Wow.
story might be a little bit pertinent to what we were talking about on the subject.
Yeah. Were you close? Are you close to an Air Force base?
So
Or
I don't really know. I don't know the answer to that. I know
okay.
technically to the north of me, about an hour is Redstone Arsenal. I don't know if they have Air Force stuff there or not.
Mm-hmm.
And then to the west of me would be Anniston Army Depot. So
Okay.
I have no earthly idea. Things could have been scrambled from further north and further west. I just know that, that's where they came from and made a perfect X marks the spot, like with their
Mm-hmm.
exhaust from the afterburners. And those things
And
were screaming fast.
I mean, it could have been on somebody saw it on their radar back at the base or whatever, and like you said, mobilized everything and try to intercept this, thinking that it was a threat or something.
So that would be my thought.
Yeah, yeah. And you hear stories. You even kind of mentioned this that I mean, you hear stories. I mentioned Skinwalker Ranch, and they have a lot of cattle mutilations there. And one was, a cattle was dying, and then right above it was a UFO, just like in your story.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think that's common or more common than we think, that they're monitoring us and maybe looking for our animals and stuff too?
I mean, I don't know. I think the mutilations have a lot to do with them building basically artificial meat suits, but I don't really know. I just thought it was interesting, like in the story I just told, just like on Skinwalker Ranch, my chickens basically acted as a biosensor to let me know that something was even there, that there was a threat from above. I had no idea. Had they not caused a ruckus and went to hide, and I would have never seen the thing.
And I'm sure they're just like our dogs, that they have a sense that something's coming. They sense storms coming all the time. I mean, they could sense UFOs above them.
Yeah, apparently so.
And this UFO didn't make a sound or anything, right?
Nope, completely silent. Completely silent. And man, it was just like a classic silvery disc.
Very interesting. Very cool. Glad, nobody was hurt or no chickens were taken or.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Thank you for coming on and sharing that with us.
Yeah, man. Just thought I'd hop on real quick, test out the StreamYard app on the iPhone, see if it worked out okay.
You have any trouble with it?
No.
Trouble getting on?
It was a little weird. It made let's see here. I had to click your link. It took me to the website, and then it was like, now you have to open in the app. So I'm like, okay, so open in the app. It wasn't too hard though.
Yeah. I had last week Al Santoriga was on, and he had trouble, and StreamYard came up and said his computer or his link or whatever wasn't supported in my browser. So I didn't think that would be an issue. I didn't think it would be part of my browser. So I don't know, but glad you're able to come on. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Just thought I'd come on for a second before I hop in the shower. So,
well, have a good day at work. I appreciate you coming on, and we'll be in touch.
All right, man. Y'all take it easy.
All right. Thanks, Fisher. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That was a nice little surprise, Fisher coming on. Always great to kind of put a voice to some of the names that we see in chat too. I mean, a lot of you are going down to the Bama Bigfoot conference. Unfortunately, I'm not able to make it to that. No vacation time. Plus, we're going on a little trip the week after that. So probably best that I stay and work that weekend. That's the pains of working weekends. So, but that is the theory of the LA Amarillo. Thank you, Fisher. Or the LA Marzulli. Fisher's back. Awesome. So yeah, I think that unless anybody else wants to come on and share a story, this Saturday we moved to 7:00. We started last week at 7:00, and we're going to move this week again to 7:00. It worked out pretty good. We weren't overlapping with Josh Turner on Paranormal Roundtable, so everybody kind of benefits from not overlapping and stuff, or not overlapping as much, I should say. I think we cut into his a little bit, but sorry about that, Josh, if you're watching. But so yeah, we're gonna try doing 7 o'clock, see how that works. And if I can swing another day, I might move it to another day. I'm not sure, but for now we're going to do 7 o'clock on Saturday. And rain or shine, either way, we will keep doing these patio shows as often as I can. And like I said, if it's nasty outside or if cicadas are out and about, yeah, I'll be downstairs. During a CE5 experience, they essentially told me that's what they do, but who knows? I don't claim to know anything. Join the club, buddy. So, all right. I hope everybody has a great week. Everybody stay safe out there. If you're in path of these storms that are brewing up, I just got an alert before I came on that tornadoes, again, possibly overnight tonight. That's the worst time to have them, when everybody's asleep, and hopefully the tornado sirens are working in your area if you have them. But if not, keep your radar, or if you have a weather radar nearby, keep that on. We are certainly in the nasty spring storm season. So hope everybody has a great rest of the week. We will be, again, Krista and I will be back on Saturday. We don't have a guest. I think we're just going to wing it, tell some stories, and maybe get a lot of interaction with the chat again. So it'll be fun. Those shows are always pretty fun, I think. So I like having guests on too, trust me. But chit-chatting and getting to know each other and having fun, that's having a few laughs. That's always a good show too. So, everybody be safe. Exactly. Everybody be safe. Thanks for joining us today, everybody. We will see you Saturday night. And let me get to the right place here. And I think I covered everything. All right. Have a great night, everybody. I will see you Saturday.